big hair, leg warmers, Walkmen. And yes, those unforgettable fast food sandwiches. When we think of the 1980s, it's not just the movies or the music that come rushing back. It's the taste of those drive-thru classics we shared with family and friends. Some of them still live on today, others quietly disappeared. But every bite was a piece of that golden decade. So before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe, give this video a like, and let's take a delicious trip back in time to discover the 10 most iconic fast food sandwiches of the 1980s. Arby's beef and cheddar. There was something special about Arby's beef and cheddar in the 1980s. The moment you unwrapped that warm sandwich, the smell hit you. The soft onion bun, the tender roast beef piled high, and that golden, creamy cheese sauce slowly melting over it all. Back then, America was obsessed with cheese, from Cheese Whiz to melted Velveeta, and Arby's knew exactly how to make it irresistible. That first bite felt different, rich, tangy, comforting. Some of us even remember standing by the toppings bar, adding just a little more sauce, a few onions, maybe a tomato slice, making it perfectly ours. Arby's even called it a leaner choice in 1986, proudly claiming only 9 to 12% fat. Maybe not quite true by today's standards, but who cared? It tasted like happiness wrapped in foil. And somehow, all these years later, the beef and cheddar still holds that same magic, the kind that takes you right back to a booth under the warm neon lights of a simpler time. McDonald's McChicken. Let's take a bite back into the 1980s with McDonald's McChicken. When it first appeared in 1980, it wasn't an instant hit. McDonald's was late to the chicken sandwich game. After all, Burger King had already staked its claim. The original McChicken had a fried patty made of half white meat, half dark meat, served on a toasted bun with just shredded lettuce and a smear of mayo. Simple, but it didn't quite capture hearts. Yet. Then came the Chicken McNugget in 1981, stealing the spotlight, and the McChicken quietly disappeared for a while. But by 1988, it returned, this time country style. All white meat, bigger than ever, served on a quarter-pounder-sized bun. That first bite of the new McChicken was pure nostalgia. Crisp, comforting, and unmistakably 1980s. It wasn't just a sandwich. It was a reminder that McDonald's was more than burgers. It was a part of growing up, lunchrooms, drive-thrus, and shared moments with friends. Hardee's Chicken Fillet Sandwich. If you were lucky enough to bite into a Hardee's Chicken Fillet Sandwich in the early 1980s, you know exactly what I mean when I say it was unforgettable. These weren't just ordinary sandwiches. Each one featured a thick, juicy, hand-breaded chicken fillet, freshly fried, seasoned perfectly with a hint of pepper, and placed on a toasted sesame seed bun with crisp shredded lettuce and mayo that warmed slightly from the heat of the fillet. Back then, you didn't just grab it and go. You waited patiently as it was fried fresh, knowing the overhanging chicken that spilled past the bun was going to be the best bite of all. Unlike today's pre-made sandwiches, Hardee's original fillet felt like it was made just for you. Real chicken, real flavor, real satisfaction. Even when they tried a grilled version later in the decade, it never captured the magic of that first, perfectly fried fillet. That sandwich wasn't just lunch. It was a little moment of joy, a taste of the 1980s, and a memory that lingers every time someone mentions Hardee's. McDonald's McRib. Let's roll back to 1982, when McDonald's McRib first made its debut. A sandwich destined to disappear and return again and again over the decades. Unlike your usual burger, the McRib was a long roll topped with a thick, smoky barbecue sauce, tangy pickles, and crisp onions. Its rib-like patty wasn't whole meat, but rather shaped from pork shoulder to mimic southern pulled pork, an ambitious attempt to bring a taste of the South to fast food. At the time, it was meant to cover chicken shortages caused by the rising popularity of McNuggets, but it didn't quite fly off the shelves. Many found it messy, some thought the flavor unusual, yet its charm lingered in the memories of those who tried it. Today, the McRib's legendary comebacks still spark excitement, proving that even a quirky, sometimes messy sandwich can hold a permanent place in America's collective nostalgia. Just imagining that first bite, barbecue sauce dripping, onions crunching, instantly takes you back to the 1980s, to a time of bold flavors, neon signs, and the thrill of fast food innovation. Burger King Croissan'wich. Mornings in the 1980s wouldn't be complete without the buttery, flaky delight of a Burger King Croissan'wich. When croissants were just starting to become popular in the US, thanks to Sara Lee's frozen versions in the early 80s, Burger King saw an opportunity, a breakfast sandwich that stood apart. The Croissan'wich combined a soft, golden croissant with a fluffy egg, melted cheese, and your choice of bacon, ham, or sausage. It was bigger, bolder, and more indulgent than anything else on the breakfast menu at the time. People remember unwrapping that warm sandwich on a chilly morning, the egg and cheese oozing over the edges, the aroma of bacon mingling with the buttery croissant. Simple moments that felt extraordinary. Today's Croissan'wich might be smaller, the egg thinner, and the price higher. But for anyone who remembers the 1980s version, it's a taste that lingers in memory, a perfect little bite of nostalgia that takes you back to breakfast tables filled with laughter and the excitement of a new day. McDonald's McD.L.T. There's one McDonald's sandwich from the 1980s that lives on in memory, the McD.L.T. Launched in 1985, it wasn't just another burger. It was an idea ahead of its time. Packaged in a dual-sided styrofoam container, the McD.L.T. promised the best of both worlds. The hot stays hot, and the cool stays cool. On one side, the juicy beef patty sat warm and ready. On the other, crisp lettuce, fresh tomato, onion, pickles, and cheese waited to meet their match. It felt like a little science experiment wrapped in nostalgia, a symbol of 1980s innovation, when even a burger could feel futuristic. Of course, the reality wasn't always perfect. Sometimes both sides got warm under the heat lamps. But nobody really cared. It was part of the charm, part of the memory. When McDonald's phased out styrofoam in 1990, the McD.L.T. quietly disappeared, taking a piece of that playful spirit with it. Still, for anyone who remembers opening that clever little container, it wasn't just lunch. It was a moment of wonder, a taste of the optimism that defined the 1980s. Burger King Whopper. There was something about the 1980s that made even a simple burger feel larger than life. And in that era, no name stood taller than the Burger King Whopper. It wasn't just a sandwich, it was a statement. The burger wars were raging across America, with Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's battling it out on TV screens and billboards from coast to coast. Burger King fought back with fire, literally, reminding everyone that their burgers were flame-grilled, not fried. Ads claimed that McDonald's patties had 20% less meat, while the Whopper proudly grew bigger, juicier, and bolder. By the mid-80s, they even brought in icons like Mr. T to chomp down on their new and improved Whopper, served on a soft Kaiser bun with melted cheese and that unmistakable smoky flavor. If you grew up in those days, you can almost smell it now. That flame-grilled scent drifting through the car window, the sound of a paper wrapper unfolding, and the first bite that somehow made the world feel right again, if only for a moment. McDonald's Big Mac. There are few things more American, or more 1980s, than a McDonald's Big Mac. It wasn't just a burger, it was a cultural icon, a golden symbol wrapped in paper and nostalgia. By the time the burger wars began in the early 80s, the Big Mac had already earned its place in history. No amount of advertising from Burger King or Wendy's could shake its throne. It was everywhere, on billboards, in lunch breaks, and even in economics. In 1986, The Economist introduced the Big Mac Index, using the price of that very sandwich to measure the value of money across countries. That's how deeply it had rooted itself in everyday life. And of course, every kid back then could sing it by heart. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. If you close your eyes, you can almost see it. The red and gold glow of the arches at dusk, the paper box crinkling open, that first warm bite. The Big Mac wasn't just food. It was a moment, one that somehow still tastes like childhood. Wendy's Big Classic. And then there was Wendy's Big Classic, the quiet contender that entered the burger wars of the mid-80s with confidence and charm. It was 1986, and Wendy's had something to prove. After all, they'd already made America laugh and think with their unforgettable "Where's the beef?" campaign. But now, they wanted to make us taste the difference. The Big Classic arrived on a soft Kaiser roll, a small detail that somehow made the burger feel special, more homemade, more real. Beneath that golden top were layers of crisp lettuce, juicy tomato, pickles, and onions, all balanced with mayonnaise and ketchup over a perfectly cooked quarter-pound patty. For many, it was the taste of Saturday afternoons, road trips, or family nights under neon lights. Today, the Big Classic has quietly disappeared, replaced by Wendy's Dave's Single. But those who remember can still taste that Kaiser bun, fluffy, warm, slightly sweet. The kind of simple perfection that made the 1980s feel just a little more golden. KFC's Chicken Little. And to close our trip down memory lane, let's talk about one of the simplest joys of the 1980s, KFC's Chicken Littles. They first appeared in 1986, tiny golden sandwiches that somehow captured the warmth of an entire decade. For just 39 cents, you could walk into a KFC and walk out with a small paper bag filled with happiness. Soft square buns, a crispy chicken patty, a smear of mayo, and a single pickle slice. Nothing fancy, just perfect in its simplicity. Back then, kids would share them after Little League games, parents would grab a few for quick dinners, and everyone could afford to join in. They weren't just snacks. They were part of everyday life, the kind of comfort food that made the world feel easy. Today's version might be thicker, pricier, and served on a different bun. But for those who remember the originals, the true Chicken Little wasn't just about taste. It was about a time when even spare change could buy a little bit of joy. They weren't just sandwiches. They were pieces of who we were, tiny snapshots of a simpler, happier America. Maybe it was the smell of a warm bun, the sound of crinkling wrappers, or that first bite on a road trip with family. Which one of these takes you back? Share your favorite memory in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we keep reliving the flavors, the moments, and the magic of America's sweetest memories.